Kaiji Ultimate Survivor was directed by Yuzo Sato and was based off of the manga written by Nobuyuki Fukumoto titled Gambling Apocalypse Kaiji. And it follows Kaiji Ito, who is a good-for-nothing loiterer who spends his days drinking beer and stealing hubcaps. That is, until he ends up being tricked by his former co-worker. Unable to suddenly repay his friend's huge debt all by himself, Kaiji is offered a shady deal to participate in an illegal underground gamble on a cruise ship. This turns out to be nothing more than the beginning of his new life of hell, thrown headlong into a life-threatening roller coaster of mind games, cheating, and deceit. So first off, I want to say that Kaiji has the most stressful scenes in probably any anime I've ever seen. While I've never gambled before, I'd like to think that Kaiji does a really good job at showing how stressful gambling in real life can be, and it just feels very real. Even the characters feel very real, like Kaiji, the main character, will break down crying when things look bleak, and it seems like something someone in real life would probably do if they were in this situation where you're gambling with your life. And I think what makes Kaiji and the other characters he meets throughout the series so good is that they feel like believable, real characters that you'd probably see in real life. Going back to what I said earlier about Kaiji having some of the most stressful scenes in anime, I feel that part of that has to do with how good of a character Kaiji is, and how he just feels like a very real, believable character. Even though at first, when they introduce his character, he kind of seems like an asshole, but as you learn more about him and get to know him better, you learn that he's not really so much of an asshole, and he's kind of nice for the most part, and just like anybody else, he'll get really pissed off and be an asshole sometimes, and that's what I really like about him. He just feels real, he's likable, and sometimes he's kind of a dick, and just feels like a real person. It's the same for the other characters that are introduced. While yes, some are better than others, I think for the most part they do a good job at making all the characters feel real and believable. So having good characters does have to do with how stressful it can be, because you don't want to see the characters that you like die, but also the situations that Kaiji gets put into are pretty stressful situations, so even if Kaiji and the characters around him weren't very good, it would still be pretty stressful and have that sense of realism in terms of how stressful gambling can be. So since it has some good, believable characters and those really intense gambles, it makes it have some of the most stressful scenes in all of anime. Also, Kaiji has my favorite narrator in all of anime. I just love how intense the guy is while he's saying what Kaiji's doing or explaining to you what happened last time. Just whenever he comes in, it's always really fun, and he just is super into it, and I really like the voice actor who did the narrator. I don't know who did it, but he's just super into it the whole time, and it's just really great. I really like the narrator. Now, the only negative thing I have to say about Kaiji, the anime, not the character, is that the second season is not as good as the first season. Like, it's not terrible, but it's not, like, amazing like the first season is, and that's kind of the only issue I really have with it. I still like it. I don't think that it's a bad season at all. I just think that it could have been better, and certain things kind of drag out for a while and last longer than I feel that they should have, and that's kind of my only issue. It feels a little slow the second season and isn't as good as the first season. One other thing I feel I should mention is that Kaiji for some reason is only available in 480p. I don't know why, but I feel like Kaiji is so good that it's worth watching even though it doesn't look that great. It's still really, really good and definitely worth watching. And I know that there's a Blu-ray of it, or there's one coming out, or something like that, but I'm pretty sure that that's in 480p too. The only reason I'm saying that is because when you go to Right Stuff Anime is a website that sells different anime stuff. I haven't actually bought anything from there, but I've been looking on their website for a while. But if you go to the special features for the Blu-ray on there, it only says that the openings and endings look better. They don't say anything about a higher resolution or anything, so I think that the Blu-ray is still in 480p. I could be wrong. If you have the Blu-ray, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong or right, but I'm pretty sure it's only available in 480p. So the only issues I have with Kaiji is that the second season isn't as good as the first season, and that it doesn't look that great, but that isn't really that much of an issue for me. I'm sure for some people, they're not gonna like it, and I definitely think that, especially after seeing some of the stuff that people have said about the new season of Attack on Titan, which I think looks really good, but some people really hate the CGI, even though it's not really that bad at all, and I think that it actually looks pretty good. So I could see someone completely dropping Kaiji just because of the way it looks, but still, I think that it's definitely worth watching. I mean, it does bother me a little bit, but it's just so good that it's worth it. So definitely, I would watch it, even if it does kind of bother you a little bit. Just watch it. It's really, really good. So with all that said, I'm going to be giving Kaiji Ultimate Survivor an A. Nice! Overall, I think Kaiji is really, really good, even though for some reason it's only in 480p, and the second season is not nearly as good as the first season. It's still really good, and it has some really great characters, and probably the most stressful scenes in all of anime. So I would definitely recommend watching Kaiji. It's on Crunchyroll if you want to check it out. I think that it's a really great series, and I just love it. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. It helps support my channel, and it's completely free. Also, I'm sorry that this video is going up a little bit later than usual. I just haven't been feeling super great the last few days, but should be back to posting a video once a week, and I'm going to be working on some videos on a manga that I recently read that was pretty good. So gonna be working on some new stuff. I got some cool ideas. Hopefully, let's hope that I don't say this and that next week the video sucks. Okay, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.